Hi, this is James from Square Internet with another WordPress tutorial, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create a simple contact form for your WordPress website using Contact Form 7, which is a popular contact form plugin for WordPress. So the first thing that we need to do is log into the WordPress backend, which I've just done. This is a development domain with a fresh installation of WordPress on, and it's running on Astra WordPress theme, which is a really lightweight, quick, easy to use WordPress theme for building simple, really quick websites that don't suffer from theme bloat, which is where the theme's got loads of extra code and functionality that you don't necessarily need for that project, that are going to slow down the website and just make it perform poorly for the sake of functionality that you don't need. So I'd really recommend that you check out Astra WordPress theme. The pro version is really good value for money, and you can build multiple unlimited websites on it and take advantage of the pro functionality. I'll include a link to that in my description so you can check it out and see if that might be something that would be good for you. Anyways, back to the tutorial. So the first thing that we need to do is install the Contact Form 7 plugin, which I've already done. But if you haven't already done, you can grab it from the theme marketplace just by searching for contact form. It should be the first thing that turns up for you. Yeah, there you go. As you can see, it's already active and installed. So let's dive into it and set up a contact form. This is the contact form that comes as default with Contact Form 7. So we're going to use this for the purpose of this video. I'm just going to walk you through how the contact form works and some of the basics of editing and setting up a contact form. So this is the contact form title, and this is the contents of the form. So these are the form fields. So these are the fields that you're going to collect from your users, and they're separated into two parts. The label is what's displayed above the field or around the field or wherever it's positioned, and it's the user-friendly label, so to speak, for the data you're looking to collect from your user. So this form has got a text field for your name, an email field for your email, a subject field which is collecting text, and a text area, which is the big box you see on contact forms where you can input more details and flesh out your message. One quick thing to look at is the little star to the right of the fields here. What this signifies is that this is a required field, and that for the form to submit or fire correctly, the user actually needs to fill this field out, whereas these are set to optional. I'd recommend that if you're going to have a required field, to include a required disclaimer within your label like this, so you can either write required, or I like to just put the star next to the field, because people see the star and they know that that means required if they've filled out any contact forms before, which is quite a common practice to just use a star rather than required. Up here we've got a list of all the fields you can include within your contact form. So everything from text and URL to dates, drop-down menus, checkboxes, quizzes, captures, to prevent spam, file uploads, and the submit button. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep it simple and head over to the next section of the form. This section is where you do your form setup, so you define who the form goes to, what fields are sent, and how the form fires. So I'm just going to run you through these sections quickly. So the to field is self-explanatory. This defines where the form is actually getting sent. In this case, it's going to the hello@squareinternet.co email. From determines who the form is coming from. If you look at this field here in brackets, you'll see that it's also duplicated up here. And what this is doing is it's mirroring the fields from the actual form. So if you look in the form fields, we've got a your name field. So when the user types in their name into the text box, when the form is actually sent, it's going to pull in that result and fill this box with the user's name, which is really quite cool. And then the second part of from is this section here. And for the form to fire correctly, it needs to look like this and follow this format. So it needs to read WordPress at your domain. So my domain is sqd.company. So this would need to read WordPress at whatever your domain is, .com, .co.uk, whichever domain extension you're using. This section is fairly self-explanatory. You can set subject to my blog or contact form, submission, whatever you'd like the subject to read, and it's pulling in the your subject field from form. This section here with reply to, this determines if you receive a form submission via email and then you just click reply, this determines where that reply is going to go back to. And so this is just going to go back to the your email field that you capture when the form is actually submitted. So you can respond to whoever's submitted your contact form. The message body is quite important, and this lays out the structure for the contact form in terms of what you actually receive to your email address. And all that it's doing is it's pulling in the results of the form fields that the user is filling in. So your name is here, your email here, and the message body, your message, here. I'm just going to add one more field quickly, just to help you understand how the form fields work and also how the mail works. So I'm going to add a URL field to collect the website from people who fill out the form. So we need to add a label to this. Your website, let's call this. And we'll put the little star there because that is a required field, so that does need to be completed for the form to fire. And this is the ID for that field. So now this is quite cool. So for the URL to actually be sent through in the email you receive, we need to add another form here and type in the ID of the new field, which is URL. So now what's going to happen is when the contact form submitted and I receive the results at hello@squareinternet.co, I'll receive not only the message, which is text area, so the details. I'm obviously going to receive the name, the email, the subject. I'm also going to receive the URL, so the website for the person who submitted the form. And the final bit to look at here is this section here, which can also be edited. So currently this email was sent from a contact form on my blog. You might want to be a bit more descriptive here and say something like, this email was sent from the contact page on the your company name website, on the Square Internet website. Video tutorial website. And that all looks okay. So I'll click save. The messages section is a section that doesn't actually usually get a lot of use from everyday users managing their own WordPress websites, but it is an important section. It doesn't get a lot of use generally because most of these messages are fit for purpose already. The two you may want to customize or tweak to add a bit of branding or a bit of you to are the sent successfully and the failed to send. So this is what's going to display to the user typically beneath the contact form when it's submitted. So thank you for your message, it has been sent, or there was an error, try and send your message, please try again later. This field again, so 3 fields that you may want to edit. Usually occurs if someone's filled out a URL box with text or something like that. So I might just edit these and go, thanks for submitting my video tutorial form. Video tutorial form is not working right now. Maybe he's hungry. Validation. You didn't give me your website URL probably. Can I have it? Or another field has not been correctly filled out. Obviously, I'm just having a bit of fun here, but you'll want to set something that's appropriate for the tone of voice that your business has and something that you think will resonate with your customers. I'm just going to save that again. Okay, so that's the contact form set up. Now I'm going to show you how you actually take all of this techie contact form stuff and embed it on a page on your website so that it can be used. So depending on your theme, it might have a built-in module for contact form 7, in which case you probably would have seen that in the page builder that your theme uses, whether it's Visual Composer or Beaver Builder, Elementor, or whatever it may be. The first thing to do is to search through the modules on your page builder for contact form 7, and if it's got a built-in contact form 7 module, then you just need to select the title from the drop down. But if not, then you need to copy this shortcode and paste it into your post page or text widget content as it suggests here. So I'm going to copy the shortcode. I'm going to go onto the contact page that I've just set up for this tutorial, and I'm going to insert it using Visual Composer, which is a really clean, easy to use page builder that we use on our WordPress websites for our customers. So I need to look for shortcode in the element section because I'm inserting a shortcode. That's an important point as well, so just so that I don't confuse you, as this is a shortcode, I need to insert it as a shortcode. And a lot of themes you can also insert the shortcode in a plain text box, which I'll just try now actually to see if it will work, because sometimes it does work. Yeah, so as you can see, if you haven't got a shortcode box, I know some themes don't, then you can use a text block. Make sure that it's correctly formatted, but if you paste in the shortcode, it will render correctly 9 times out of 10. So you can see the contact form there. I'm just going to go back though and use a shortcode. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, our contact form 7 is now displaying on the page, and it's matching the fields of the contact form. So let's just go through these just to show you. So your name, your website, your email, subject, and your message, so the text box. Remember I talked about earlier that being a large box for you to collect extra details from your visitors. I'm just going to click Save, which is what you need to do in Visual Composer to save the page and any changes made. And I'm then going to open up that page just to show you the result. So yeah, there you go. So the contact page, as we just saw within Visual Composer, is now displaying our contact form. I'm going to just fill this out. This might not work if I use the same email. It should do actually. Let me just submit it just to show you. Video tutorial walkthrough. I'm submitting a contact form on contact form 7. Yeah, so it's submitted fine. There's the success message that we defined in the messages section. Thanks for submitting my video tutorial form. So we can see that the form's submitted okay, everything's worked fine. Yeah, so the contact form's submitted successfully, it's displaying on the page fine, there weren't any validation errors, all sorted. So there you go. Install contact form 7, set up the form, get the shortcodes to display it on your page or use one of the built-in modules from your theme, save it, and then test it. So it's a good idea to always test your forms, make sure that they do submit, and then check the email address you've set them to send to, just to make sure that the contents come through okay and there's no errors. because the last thing you want to do is receive a contact form submission from someone that's fired successfully, but the email, for instance, just displays as an empty field because you haven't correctly captured their email address. So do make sure that you test your forms thoroughly before you bring them live, especially if they're important forms like your contact page form or your quote forms. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you've got any questions or comments about Contact Form 7 or the video, please feel free to leave me a comment. Or if you've got anything specific you want to delve into or get some help with on WordPress, Visual Composer, WooCommerce, please feel free to drop me an email at hello@squareinternet.co. And if you found this video helpful and you'd like to see more helpful, simple videos on WordPress aimed at small business owners and marketers, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be producing fresh videos almost every day during the week. And you'll obviously be updated when I publish a new video if you subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully see you on the next video.